Hello, friends and family from around the world. This is Mike with Daily Events Worldwide, and we are on June 7th, 2023. Welcome to another surviving day on the planet. Welcome to the Daily Do, giving you your space weather update as well. Earthquakes, volcanoes, and world weather. Always starting out here looking at Solar Dynamics Observatory, showing the last 48 hours of images on our sun. And we did have quite a large event to report here, an M7 class solar flare, so near X class solar flare from the southern region of our sun. Be able to see that here in the incoming positions as we have quite the complex sunspot regions coming in. Watch on the left hand side, that's where we saw the M class solar flare. Very strong and long duration C class solar flare followed that. Looking the last 48 hours outgoing, there were a couple CMEs, plasma filaments, but nothing major to report except for the M-class solar flare. Having a look at multispectrum, this is where we can see all of the last 48 hours of events. We do have a couple coronal hole regions and as well some complex filaments stretched across the northern and southern hemispheres right now. Closer look at the M-class solar flare and coronal hole regions right there. That was a big M-class solar flare. Huge solar arc stretching across the surface of the sun. Amazing images here. Slow this down for you guys. From the cresting limb, we also had a pretty large coronal mass ejection, which was visible on LASCO 2. So right there, that was an M-class solar flare, and we have 8 sunspot regions that are facing right now, and one of them is very complex and producing some strong flares. So heads up, stay safe, stay aware, prepared, and stay tuned to Daily Events Worldwide. Having a look here, 171 angstroms. This is where we can see the heliosphere in action, and as well all of the massive plasma loops interacting with each other throughout the sunspot regions. As I said, we have 8 of them, and a couple more cresting in from an active backside. Solar cycle 25. Welcome everybody to the new beginning, to quite possibly a new mini ice age by 2030. And I've been talking about that for 6 years on my channel now. Having a look at sunspot regions in action. Space weather conditions remain in R1. Minor radio blackout impacts are expected to low frequency navigation signals. Solar X-ray flux remains in a C range right now after that strong M class and a couple C class solar flares. Today, solar proton flux remains steady. Geomagnetic activity low as we are in between space weather events. Having a look here at the DRAP absorption wrap, this showing the cosmic energy that penetrated our magnetosphere throughout the last 8 hours of images. Having a look at the real-time solar wind, sitting at 322 kilometers per second and pretty much streamlined at that low solar wind number after being up over 460 kilometers per second. This is ahead of our next space weather event. Glancing blow from a CME coming. Having a look at LASCO 2, showing the last 7 days of events on our star from June 1st to June 7th. And the only major eruptions were in the last little while. Earth facing halo CME there. And as well, left side, large coronal mass ejection taking off from the cresting limb. And just recently, the M and C class solar flares. Closer look here at that CME that took off and is set to give us a glancing blow in the next 24 to 36 hours. Left side, all that energy coming our way to getting ready for a cosmic dance party this weekend. Heads up, stay safe, stay aware, and prepared, and much love. Thanks for tuning in. Having a look at the ISWA space prediction spiral, showing the most recent CMEs taking off. Slight one towards Venus. Nothing major to report. We'll refresh that. And yeah, same one. Now let's get to earthquakes, as it's been pretty busy, as I reported earlier today with the earthquake swarm at Kilauea volcano. But we've got other things to mention here. Up over 340 earthquakes the past 24-hour period at USGS, well above normal. South Sandwich Islands seeing some activity, 5.1 and a 4.9. Coastline of South America through Chile. Colombia, Solano, Colombia seeing a 5.1 magnitude as well, a 4.3 there. Leeward Islands subduction zone from the Caribbean plate. Dominican Republic seeing some sizable activity there as well. Then we get to the United States, as we've seen increasing activity across California and as well Pacific Northwest, even up into Elkford, Canada, with a 3.0 magnitude, 2.5 there, Montana. Having a look over Hawaii, still reporting 75 earthquakes today at the Kilauea Summit caldera. If you haven't seen the video from the eruption, please check it out and share with your friends and family. Having a look here, overlooking Yellowstone. Minor activity in the lake and north of it there with western Montana, 2.5. But then Mount Hood in Oregon, northern Oregon, seeing earthquake swarm and has continued now for the past 48 hours. Monitoring that as activity is occurring at Rainier as well. Give you a quick look here at the last 7 days, all magnitude. Most recent activity has been at Rainier and Mount Hood. So, heads up, we don't know what is next, but there seems to be a lot developing worldwide. It's all about staying aware and prepared here with daily events worldwide. Hashtag no fear here. Carrying on with earthquakes around the world, Alaska saw 4.3 there through the peninsula, 4.4 there, Kuril Islands. As well, activity continuing through Hawaii. And then our deepest earthquake the past 24 hours, 605 kilometer depth, 4.5 at Fiji, followed by a 390 kilometer depth. New Caledonia reporting some sizable activity there, 4.9 ranging to 5.2 as well. Wonosari, Indonesia, 5.6 earthquake there, prompting alerts for Krakatoa volcano. As well, Bulgaria, which is not reported often, reporting a 4.6 there today. Quick glance at the last 7 days for shakers across the world. Take a quick moment to thank you all for watching, and as well thank you for your memberships. Thank you for the love for this channel, and thank you for sharing. If you do, I really appreciate all the shares. It helps recommend this channel to everybody worldwide. Much love for you all. Lots of activity, Arabian Plate. Something had to give, and a lot of pressure is being released right now with the Kilauea volcano eruption. Huge magma intrusion. And if these fires across Canada all of a sudden cease, then that means pressure has been released, and quite possibly the fires across Ontario and Quebec will calm down. But still, very dry and hot conditions continue across Canada. Having a look here at the Kilauea volcano eruption. This is the moment that it erupted at about 4:44 in the morning, about 10 seconds before that. And look at this large explosion of lava right beside the island that was in the lava pool of the caldera. All this pressure now coming out both sides. And this is the most recent view of this amazing eruption. Kilauea volcano has erupted, and its caldera is currently filling up, spewing out the sides of that huge island that is in the middle of this caldera. That caldera that island is about the size of a football field, just to give you an example of how big this caldera is. Thoughts and prayers going out to everybody. Hopefully nobody is affected. Having a look at the most recent volcanoes getting updated. Fuego, of course, Kilauea. Lots of flood alerts and fire alerts. If you're interested in the more detailed areas, please download this app. Nevada's de Ruiz, Colombia. Popocatépetl in Mexico. Krakatoa in Indonesia. And Popocatépetl has had multiple eruptions over this past week. Have we reached the tipping point here on our planet? New fires through northern Ontario, LA Lake, and as well, those hot spots continue across Quebec. Large low pressure system over the Atlantic provinces right now, and is sweeping all of that wildfire smoke through parts of northeastern United States and all across Ontario, making very poor air quality. Two huge low pressure systems over the Atlantic, one heading into Spain and one heading up towards Greenland and Iceland. We do have two tropical storms to talk about. Tropical Storm Gukol. Severe weather continues through southern Australia, as well Wales. Another tropical storm here in the Indian Ocean. Tropical cyclone Biparjoy. Interesting name, Biparjoy. And as well, we've got fires breaking out across Russia as well, western parts of Russia for the past couple days, but nothing like Canada. Now let's have a look at satellite imagery. This is Worldview, showing all of the hotspots around the world. All the orange dots are hotspots and or fires. Overlooking the wildfires through western Russia. A little bit of smoke there, but nothing like Canada. All of that smoke now sweeping across and into the Atlantic. Give you a quick look here over the last 7 days across Canada, as we had wildfires burning through Alberta this week, or last week, and as well northern BC, Saskatchewan. See, all of a sudden these hotspots came out of nowhere. The fires erupted. Whether it's human negligence or lightning strikes, it's still a very bad problem right now. Hot and dry conditions continue across Canada. Having a look here at the temperature forecast for the next week. And it's not going to change too much. Lots of warm air moving up into Northwest Territories as well. We're finally going to get some relief with some low pressure systems heading across North America, but temperatures up into 41 degrees Celsius range for parts around the Gulf, and then versus Africa and as well the West Indies here. Extreme hot conditions will persist and get even worse here in the long range forecast, showing 42 and 48 degrees in some areas. 43, 45. So yes, our planet is going through a lot of changes. Climate change is real, but I do believe that there is something more to it than just humans. Tectonic plate shifting, pressure mounting, magma intrusions. Let's have a look at world weather here for the next 7 days, brought to you by windy.com, as we do have quite a few low pressure systems developing here over the next week or two for North America. But still, high pressure ridge moving in from the north, going to cool things down and then heat things up again. Big low pressure system for Ontario next week. And then watching the long range as we have 1, 2, 3, 4 low pressure systems that are going to bring some relief. And hopefully help out with our very dry conditions. Overlooking the rest of the world, Africa and South America, daily evaporation rains. Nothing major to report. Overlooking West Pacific, we do have 3 tropical systems that are churning right now. 2 of them will be affecting land masses, one heading into Myanmar, and another one grazing the coastline of Japan in the long-range forecast. No major typhoons developing. Leave you here looking at the southern hemisphere and weather for Australia and as well New Zealand, as we have some very large low-pressure systems south of you, bringing tons of snow to Antarctica and waves of moisture to southern Australia. And continual rain for New Zealand. Much love, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please share with your friends and family. Stay aware and prepared. Stay young and have fun. And get your daily dew. Bye-bye now. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends and family from across the world.